Hello everyone. Welcome to the English speaking series. This is the story called Speak English, Speak Success, Your Motivational Journey. It is written in simple English, with daily life examples, motivation, and practice tasks that can help you improve your English step by step. Aisha sat by the window and watched the streetlights. She had a small book of English words on the table. For years, she had dreamt of working in a place where people from many countries met. She wanted to speak with confidence. She wanted to read signs, watch films without subtitles, and answer job interview questions clearly. One night, she wrote a small promise in her notebook. I will speak English every day. This promise was simple. It was honest. It did not promise fast magic. It promised habit. Many people think English is only for exams or travel. Aisha saw it differently. For her, English was a tool to open doors. She thought of a better job, more friends, and more chances. But she felt scared. What if she made mistakes? What if people laughed? She remembered a teacher who said, "Mistakes are steps." Aisha decided to take one step. She would begin with one sentence a day. On day one, she practiced, "Hello, my name is Aisha. I am learning English." She said it to herself in the mirror. Saying the sentence out loud felt strange. The first step is always strange. That is okay. The lesson is clear. Big journeys start with one small step. Aisha chose small habits. She learned 5 new words each day. The words were easy. Hello, work. Friend, help. Learn. She used them in simple sentences. Hello, I have work today. My friend will help me. Using words in sentences helps memory. She made a plan that fit her life. She practiced 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening. She read a short paragraph each morning. She listened to a 5-minute English audio in the evening. Small and steady. On a market day, she practiced bargaining phrases quietly. How much is this? Can I have a little less? She practiced with a shopkeeper in simple English and smiled. The shopkeeper spoke slowly and she learned from the real talk. It became clear to her. It is better to practice 10 minutes every day than 2 hours once a week. To improve speaking, she tried simple methods. She spoke to the mirror for 5 minutes and pretended to order coffee. A coffee, please. She watched her mouth and felt more confident. She used her phone to record short messages. Listening later helped her find words she missed and correct them. She also tried shadowing, listening to a short sentence and repeating it right after the speaker. This helped her rhythm and pronunciation. In the morning, she recorded, "Good morning. I feel good today." In the evening, she listened and smiled. Each day, she heard small improvements. Speaking daily, even for a little time, built her muscle memory. Her mouth was learning the sounds. She made listening and reading part of her life. She read short stories and children's books because they used simple words and clear sentences. She watched short videos with English captions. When she heard a new word, she paused and wrote it down. On the bus, she listened to a 7-minute English story. She repeated a phrase she liked. At home, she opened a small storybook and read one page aloud. She looked up one phrase she did not know, using subtitles and reading. Along with audio helped her connect. Sound and spelling. Of course, she made mistakes. She mixed up tenses and sometimes said words in the wrong order. At first, she felt embarrassed when people corrected her. But she changed her view. She started to thank the person who helped her. She treated every correction as a gift. Once she tried to say, "Yesterday I go to the market." Her friend gently corrected her. You can say, "Yesterday I went to the market." Aisha repeated it and learned. She even made a mistake log. She wrote the mistake and the correct sentence, and reviewed it weekly. Confidence grew because she no longer feared mistakes. Grammar, too, could feel scary. But Aisha used grammar as a tool, not a burden. She learned one simple grammar idea each week. In week 1, she practiced simple present, I ate. She works. In week 2, she practiced simple past, I ate. She worked. In week 3, she practiced questions, do you like tea? Where are you from? Each week she made 5 sentences with the grammar rule. Focusing small made grammar easier. One day she wanted to tell her friend about last night. She used simple past. I watched a film. Then she practiced 3 other past sentences. Instead of memorizing long word lists, Aisha learned words in context, inside sentences and stories. Instead of learning the word achievement alone, she learned it in a sentence. Her achievement was finishing the project on time. She wrote her own. My achievement is finishing the course. Using new words. In a short personal story linked memory to feelings. She found ways to speak with others. She practiced with one friend twice a week for 20 minutes. She joined a local group at the library once a week. She even helped others by using English to explain simple tasks, like how to use a phone app. At a community event, she introduced herself. Hello, I am Aisha. I am learning English. People smiled and asked simple questions. She answered slowly. The conversation was not perfect, but it was real. After a month of practice, she had to speak in a small meeting at work. She felt nervous, but she wrote a short speech with 3 main points in simple sentences. She practiced aloud and recorded it. On the day, she spoke slowly. People clapped. She learned that presenting does not need perfect grammar, but clear ideas. For any short talk, 3 points are enough. She also prepared for job interviews. She learned common questions like, tell me about yourself. Why do you want this job? She wrote short, honest answers. In practice, she said, I like to learn new things. I am a good team worker. She also made a short work story. I worked on a project. I finished it on time. I learned teamwork. She realized interviews are not about big words, but clear answers. English was also for friends and small talk. She learned lines like, how was your weekend? Do you like music? At a bus stop she asked, do you often take this bus? A woman replied and they talked about the weather. These small talks became seeds of friendship. She learned that small talk is simple. Ask a question. Listen. Answer with 1 sentence. After 3 months, she felt stuck. Improvement slowed. She worried and thought of stopping. But she remembered her promise of small daily steps. She added a new habit, weekly review. She listened to her old recordings and realized she had truly improved. Plateaus are normal, not a stop sign. She changed one thing. She replaced one video with a new podcast. That variety renewed her interest. One day she faced her fear of speaking in public. She needed directions at the train station. Nervously, she asked, excuse me, where is platform number 3? The man smiled and answered kindly, That small success gave her courage. She realized even simple sentences can open doors. Later she practiced ordering food. 1 coffee. Please. Can I have water, please? She saw how English turned strangers into helpers. Technology also became her teacher. She changed her phone settings to English. At first, gallery, settings, and contacts confused her, but soon she learned. She downloaded a dictionary app. When she saw a new word, she checked it and wrote 1 sentence. She followed English YouTube channels about cooking, a hobby she loved. Learning became enjoyable. Aisha also started linking English to her daily routine. While cooking, she said, "I am cutting the onion." While cleaning, she said, "I am washing the floor." Before sleeping, she described her day. "I woke up early. I went to work. I ate dinner with my family." These daily connections made English natural. Sometimes she felt discouraged, but she fought back with positive thinking. She wrote daily affirmations. "I can learn English. Every day I improve. Mistakes are my teachers." When she felt nervous before speaking, she whispered, "I am brave. I will try." Positive thoughts gave her courage. She loved movies. She began watching English films with subtitles. At first, she only understood 20%, but she repeated short scenes and learned common phrases. She heard "no problem" in a comedy show and soon used it in real life. Entertainment became her classroom. She also began writing. She kept a diary in English. Each night she wrote 4 or 5 sentences. "Today I was happy. I met my friend. We drank tea. I told her about my English class." Writing improved her grammar and helped her organize thoughts before speaking. She practiced listening carefully. Good communication is not only about speaking but also listening. When a colleague said, "I will go shopping after work," she repeated in her mind, "She will go shopping after work." Then she replied, "Oh, that's nice." Listening made her answers smoother. Months later, she looked back. She remembered her first simple sentence, "Hello, my name is Aisha." Now she could introduce herself, talk about her day, ask questions, and write diary entries. She made a new goal. In 1 year, "I will give a full 5-minute speech in English." Her journey continued. When she traveled to another city, she had to speak English at the airport and hotel. She asked, "Where is the gate? Can I have a room, please? What time is breakfast?" People understood her, and she realized English was not only for jobs but also for adventures. She also prepared for exams. Long texts scared her at first, but she practiced step by step. She read short texts, answered questions, and practiced speaking answers. She was asked, "Describe your favorite hobby." She replied, "My favorite hobby is reading. It makes me happy and helps me learn." Simple, clear, and correct. Her proudest moment came when she gave a speech at a community event. She said, "Good evening, everyone. I want to share my story. I started with 1 sentence a day. Now I can stand here and talk to you." The audience clapped, and she smiled with pride. Public speaking taught her that courage matters more than perfect grammar. She even began teaching her younger cousin. She explained, "In present tense we say, 'I play.' In past tense we say, 'I played.'" Teaching others deepened her own knowledge. Sharing made her stronger. Years later, Aisha reflected on her journey. She had started with fear, mistakes, and one small promise. She ended with confidence, fluency, and new opportunities. She realized success was not only about English words. Success was about daily habits, courage to make mistakes, positive thinking, and speaking even when afraid. Her final message was clear: speak English, speak success. Because when you speak, you grow. When you grow, you succeed.